Hello and welcome to King Kong Hall. I am Sifu. This is Master Ron. This is the eye candy, the SOB. Welcome you guys. Thank you guys once again. Also too, help us grow this. Like and subscribe. And if you're a martial artist or you know a martial artist, share this with another person. Have them comment, you guys are terrible, you guys are great, you know, how do I hook up with you guys, whatever it is. Like, subscribe, hit the bell notification.
Right, because we're not one of those hotties on the internet that get 600,000 views because they're hot. This is it.
This is it. Sorry.
Except for him.
Maybe one or two more.
This is it. That's all you get. Some men in their 50s trying to tell you what you know can do really well stuff. So what we got today.
Exactly. Okay, so we're going to be talking about types of blocking. Now, there's kind of a movement to say get away from blocking, right? It's useless. It's a waste of time. Here's my take on any of that. Everything was impossible until someone did it, right? And so that's the way we practice and we train. I don't buy into just because a person has, 1 million subscribers that, they told you not to block, so you gave up everything you've learned. My thing is to learn how to make it work. Right. And that's what we're going to talk about today. But we're going to talk about open hand versus closed hand. So, you want to go first?
No, you first.
I got to always try. Anyway, so, all right, first thing I'm going to do is we're talking about open hand. One of the benefits of open hand blocking is it allows me to do a few different things, multiple things. So if he throws a left, I go here, and I can go right to the eye because my hand is open, right? The other thing is if I'm here and I move, now I can put him in position and hold him there. These are just my hands, right? The bad part of this is, throw slow please. If I go to block, boom, he can break a finger, right? Or I misjudge distance and I can hurt my hand. And there's also a movement to say, don't ever punch with your fist closed. Once again, use the same rules I used earlier. And this is for people who are serious about their training. For me, when someone tells me, and I get this from my brother, when someone say we can't do something, we're gonna work twice as hard to make it work, right? Especially if we know it works, okay? So when you're using your hands, right? I like to use it as an extension from my elbow, right? But if there's also motions, if he throws right hand, then I can parry. Now, some people parry with their fingers. I don't necessarily like that. I like to go like right here where my palm to about right at the lower part of my fingers. They're a little bit more stable that way. If I go here, right, and see how his body's affected by that, and my stance, we talked about stances and transitioning, so my stance is pretty stable, so now I can continue to do whatever I'm going to do from there, right? Now, the objective is you're not locking your motions, right? What you want to do is stay strong but fluid. So if he throws that punch again, I go, boom, I'm in position, and that's open hand, open hand. If you want to use
speed too.
Right. You get speed. Now, when you close your hand, you get the sledgehammer effect. You get more power, right? But you give up speed, right? That's the other side. So people are like, well, why would I want to ever give up speed? Here's what you got to remember. How do we train? He's bigger, faster, stronger. So I'm going to use angulation and position to get there. So I'm going to keep this really simple. So he throws me, and I close here. Now it's like using a sledgehammer to hit, right? Or if he throws the other hand, and I hammer, right? And then I just keep going, right? So that's the concept of using closed hand. Now, you can use closed hand for multiple things, right? Like we did in our last video. My brother had his fist closed and he kept doing an elbow like that, which works so good, so well. Just remember, the closed fist is the stronger of the two,
right?
But the open hand also works as well, and it's exactly, I can control him a little bit more. So one, I can control him a little bit more if I want to twirl him around. The other one is just control him by pounding him. So this is all in your system. Use it all.
Right.
What you got?
Yeah, it's basically the disadvantages and advantages of an open hand. And like what you were saying, with parrying, here's a rule of Ron thumb, is parrying is basically where my face was, I put my hand where it was. You don't, after a while, you don't even think about it, right? You don't even look at it because unless you have an over-enlarged head, Parrying is really not that difficult, but it's just more movement, right? Now, if you saw my brother as he blocked that with a power or a hammer fist, if you've never felt that for real, you should feel it, especially if you're a masochist. It's amazing. So, so it's powerful. It destroys as you know. And he was doing it probably at 30% power, right? Without any adrenaline, without any much speed, right? But if it's done right, you probably dislocate the shoulder or do something else. So with this, of course, marrying it together in a combination is pretty good too.
Right, absolutely.
Right? So there's a bunch of things so we're going traditional now, open-handed with the left. So we'll go one, gooseneck. So this is quick and fast, but this time we're going to open hand and we're going to give ourselves since this is weak, this comes up and this takes over. This hits up, I'm going to get my head out of the way. I'm going to go hit here, right? Phoenix feather. Phoenix feather to the face, right? Phoenix feather is hitting with your knuckles, and then the fingers just comes out at the same time and brings and comes back in as a thing. So again, I'm gonna step down as we were talking about. This comes up, pop, right? Here. You could do all of those fun things. Now I can close up and go boom, boom, and then grab here and turn them upside down, right? So we're gonna do now. Let's throw with the right one. We're gonna do exactly the same thing, right? Here, right? Notice I'm not hitting bone to bone. I'm hitting here and up, getting my head out of the way, right? So one more time, please. So step down here, comes up. So all of that stuff, I trapped him here, right? All those are fast. He'll survive it because these are all empty. This is still open hand. But if I want to really accent the pain, that's when the sledgehammer that my brother was talking about comes in. Boom, boom. Okay? Now, for you more advanced ones, of course, you could use your open hand and you have a better repertoire of targets, right? But who thinks like that in the streets, right? So eventually you just gotta practice,
Yeah.
right? So open hand, lots of speed. If done correctly, goosenecks goes here. You could use these things here. Your palm or the back of palm hurts like shit. But anyways, here is fine. But if I usually like to do this, I go in and I make that angle just to like get your muscles taut enough to like block that thing, right? And then of course you have your speed.
Love it. No, I'm just like, yeah, that's good. That's awesome.
Goosenecks, a lot of those stuff, whatever. Peking duck neck. I don't know. I'm getting.
I've had Peking duck in Beijing. It's really good.
Really? I always get them, but they're always so dry because they've been dried out and like.
Yeah. No, this was really good. The first time I ever had it, I'm like, oh wow, this is actually good.
Half of our KKP stuff is all about food.
Because real warriors love to eat.
Sure.
Yeah, let's go with that one.
Yeah.
All right, so we'll see you next time.
Yeah, see you next time. Like we said, this is all you get.
That's it.
This is all you get. So
I mean, he's more the eye candy than I am, so. So, thank you guys for sharing the love. We got a lot of big plans as we move forward here with King Kong Pong.
2020 was horrible. Let's
Yeah.
make 2021 better.
Yeah, we're gonna got a lot of things going